Hi guys, 18 Dapper here and welcome to this match preview for this Tuesday night's game. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Swindon Town at the Keepmoat Stadium. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview, Doncaster Rovers versus Swindon Town, Keepmoat Stadium this Tuesday night. If you're an existing subscriber, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for returning. If this is a video that's brought you here, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. If you are new to the channel, this is the format that we do match previews in. We look at the previous meetings between the two clubs, current form in all competitions. I choose one of the Doncaster Rovers squad to have a little bit of a chat about. We look at the history of the opponent, and only a brief history, and my opinion of the one to watch for that team. And then me and the family have got a predictions league that is changed this week after Saturday's game, so stay tuned to see the movement in the table there. I'll go through it when we get to that point, and then my all-important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, into previous meetings. So Doncaster and Swindon have faced off a total of 24 times in their history. Donny coming out on top on 9 of those occasions, Swindon winning 5, and then we have shared the spoils on 10 occasions. So slightly in the Rovers' favour coming into this one. But looking back at the last 5, the scales swing in Swindon's favour. So back in 2013, a home win for the Rovers 1-0, and then in the 14-15 season, it was an away win and a home defeat for the Rovers, 1-0 away win, 2-1 home defeat. And then in the 15-16 season, it was a 2-2 draw at home and a 2-0 defeat away. So more recent times, it's swung in Swindon's favour with the 2 wins and the draw in the last 3 games between the two. But football is an odd sport, so hopefully the omens are not looking too good in terms of the recent meetings between the two clubs, but hopefully it changes Tuesday night and it goes more with the total kind of outcomes where Rovers are slightly on top. And I say that because going on to current form, Doncaster are in much better form than Swindon at the moment. 4 wins and 1 defeat in the last 5, whereas Swindon 4 defeats and 1 win. So totally opposite form for the two teams coming into this one. Swindon, as I say, in a bit of a rough patch, and it sees them currently 4th bottom in the table, but it's an extremely tight division, and it's a place that you don't want to be in at the end of the festive period or throughout the festive period. But looking back at Swindon's results recently, they have been fairly tight against some good teams in the league. Possession's good, passing percentage is good, but there's just something missing for Swindon to get those results. I don't think there's too much to worry about if they sort the defence out. Looking at the table, it's not a very secure defence, extremely leaky. It is the worst in the league. 33 goals conceded, which, as I say, is the worst in the league. If they sort that out, these tight games could be made into draws or potentially wins. So keep an eye out for defensive additions in January potentially for Swindon. I think if they do that, they should avoid the drop. Looking at the way that they've been playing against teams in the league, just falling short in terms of getting the points at the minute. But 16 points, they only came up last season, came up as League 2 champions after the curtailment. So you'd expect them to be good enough to avoid the drop, or that'd be the expectation. So keep an eye on this one. I don't think they've got anything to worry about as of yet, but it's one of those where they'll be closely watching the teams over the shoulder and watching the results just above them as well. Moving on to Doncaster, another job done performance on Saturday from the Rovers, but it should have been put to bed so much earlier than the final whistle. We had opportunity after opportunity, and it just didn't go into the back of the net. Okenabiri, first touch after coming on, he hits the post. That had made it 3-1, and I think that's game over. So it was a nervy last 10-15 minutes for the Rovers, but good, solid performance. Showed what we can do defensively, showed what we could do on the ball as well, and came away with the 2-1 win against Gillingham. Very, very happy. Good performances all over the pitch especially Sims, Whiteman. I think Matt Smith had a very good game. Reece James played on the left wing. He's played absolutely everywhere apart from in goal this season, I think, and he'd probably do a job there. Brad Halliday made some excellent runs coming inside rather than going around the outside. John Jules led the line very well. Okunabiri could have probably done things a little bit better when he came on, but added a different dimension, shall we say. So yeah, good performances from everybody on the pitch, and it's just starting to show the togetherness that we've got in the squad, and it's looking very positive. Hopefully I've not spoken too soon. In the second half, I feel like we let Gillingham back into the game a little bit too much, but the instant reply from Brad Halliday instantly settled the nerves, settled the boat after being in a little bit of a storm at the start of the second half. In the first half, if Gillingham had come out as the team that they came out in the second half, I think it'd have been a very different outcome for the game. But it is what it is. They sat back in the first half, gave us a lot of possession, and we used that really, really well, going in at 1-0, and then finished the job off in the second half. So very happy. It's put us very close to the playoffs in a very busy period where a lot of the teams on paper, if we're going to be in them top 6 places come the end of the season, we need to be grabbing points from these. And starting on Tuesday night against Swindon, I think we need to be taking the 3 points if we've got the expectations of top 6. On to player focus. It's been a while since I've talked about this guy. I've left him pretty much until the last in terms of going around the squad, and it is Mr. Doncaster Rovers himself, James Coppinger. I am so gutted that we've not got to see any of his final games live. He's saying that it's his final season. I think it is. I think he'll retire at the end of the season. Hopefully we get into the stadium, we drop down to tier 2 or tier 1 before the end of the season, so we can get fans into the stadium and give Coppinger the send-off that he deserves. Over 600 games for the club, and he's just an absolute legend. Do I think he should retire at the end of the season? No, I think he's still got at least another season in him. When he comes on, I think he adds a lot to our game. He's still got the skill, the ability at this level. For me, he needs another season, but that's selfish of me to ask, just so that we can kind of see him and get that send off. But yeah, fantastic professional on and off the pitch. Doing a podcast at the minute, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, with ex-players. If you haven't seen that, if you're a Rovers fan, get onto Patreon. Subscribe to that, definitely. Very good watches, and an insight into Coppinger's career at Doncaster Rovers. Any youngsters watching football, watch this guy and do as he does and you'll not go far wrong. Fantastic player, fantastic person. Going to be gutted when he hangs his boots up. I think we should retire the number 26, but that's just me. Get him a statue as well. But yeah, kind of cameo appearances this year. But when he has come on, I feel like he has made a difference more than just being there to kind of make up the numbers. So that's why I say that I think he's still got stuff, still got another season in him, or potentially more to give. But we will see at the end of the season if he does hang his boots up or not. But yeah, James Coppinger, fantastic. Moving on to the opponent, Swindon Town, founded in a fantastic year, 1879, the same year as what Doncaster Rovers were founded. Currently managed by John Sheridan. We've already faced a John Sheridan team this year in Wigan, and they turned us over 1-0. So hopefully Darren Moore has studied his tactics. Hopefully he's playing a similar style to what Wigan were playing earlier in the season. Darren Moore's had the opportunity to come up against him once. Lost. So hopefully he makes up for that with a win on Tuesday night. John Sheridan played 7 games for the Rovers in his career as well. So there is a Doncaster Rovers link there. But tough patch at the minute. Is he going to keep the job? Is he not? I'm not too sure. Swindon fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Couple of recent honours. League 2 champions in 2011, 2012, and also League 2 champions back last year after the curtailment in 1920. And then the biggest honour, in my opinion, for Swindon, League Cup winners in 1969. Moving on to the one to watch for Swindon, I think I mentioned him last season when we faced Wigan, moved over to Swindon. It is Jack Payne. I think he is a fantastic midfielder, very, very skillful. Currently Swindon's highest assist maker on 4. He's bagged a goal as well. And for me, I've said it in previous previews, I think if you stop the deliveries and you stop the midfielders feeding the strikers, you've got a good chance of coming away from the game with a point or more. And this is one of those guys where I think if we prevent him from playing, limit the space that he's got, then we've got a good chance of coming away with something. Very skillful on the ball. Love to see him in a Donny kit. I think he would fit very well in this style of play. He's quick, powerful, pacey, and he can put chances on a plate for strikers, which is shown this season with 4 assists, which is not a bad return so far in 15-16 games. You probably want a little bit more, but yeah, you can't complain too much being the highest assist maker at a club and also getting a goal as well. So I think if we shut him out, we've got a good chance of coming away with something on Tuesday night. Moving on to the Predictions League table. So as I said earlier, me and the family are predicting results for every single league game this season. If we get the scoreline spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome but not the scoreline right, we get 1 point. If we get it completely wrong, we get no points. And this week there is movement. Saturday I went with a 2-1 win. This is the second scoreline I've got spot on, and that moves me from bottom of the table up to second. Chris, Max and Dad also went with wins. I think there was a 2-0, a 3-1 and a 3-2. But obviously, because I've not got the score right, they've only been given 1 point. So Chris still leading the way on 10 points, first one to make double figures. I've leapfrogged Max and my dad up into second, now on 8 points. 2 weeks ago I think I was on 2 points. Beautiful, very, very happy. And then Max and Dad joint bottom on 7 points. It's just like the League One table, extremely tight, and there will be twists and turns before the end of the season. But hopefully this run continues of correct scores, which leads me on to my score prediction. I've gone with 2-1s, I've gone with a 2-0. They were my correct score lines. I think we're on a very good run. I think we're full of confidence. Swindon, the total opposite, not on a good run, potentially not got the confidence. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. As I say, the games have been fairly tight that Swindon have been defeated in. The possession's fairly tight, they've played decent football. I think we have got enough quality to turn these over on Tuesday night, and I'm going with a Rovers 2-0 win. Fingers crossed that I'm right, and hopefully this is going to start building a little bit of momentum coming into the festive period. A lot of games coming, and hopefully we can come out in the new year in the top 6. But for me, these are the games that we need to be winning to kind of cement our place up there. So a 2-0 win for the Rovers for me, and that is where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, big thumbs up for us please. Comment in the section down below, let me know your thoughts on the upcoming game. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.